All right.
Give me a second. It says it's preparing the live stream. It's on now? Okay, it is.
It's on
Right.
for me.
Take it away, Rob.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the June 4th edition of the IPFS All Hands meeting. Let's see. Michelle is note taker today, and I am moderating. It looks like we've got one thing on the agenda. If anybody has anything to add, please add it quickly. And if you're missing the link, there's a link to the agenda in the chat. So the first item, so there's not a name next to it, about Go IPFS DHT. Who's that?
That's me. I just want to note that the DHT fixes have now finally been merged into Go IPFS, but unfortunately, if you noticed, IPNS has a bit of an issue where you can't publish IPNS records from or using keys that are not your PRID. So in case you run into that, FYI.
Correction. It works to some older nodes,
okay.
But to a couple versions, there's an extra validation added that it doesn't work for keys that are not yours PRID key. It's a lot of fun.
I would like to ask, are there complicated hijinks in getting that to work again? Are things like fundamentally different? Is that going to have an impact on whatever the next release is?
Yeah, so I'm going to be working on a fix for this now. I spent this weekend debugging things. We should be able to get a fix in fairly quickly. It'll be next release for sure. But yeah, it's tricky. But the good news is if we get it working right, IPNS should be a good deal more usable. And then there's a couple other things I discovered along the way that might help noticeably too, which are separate fixes, but might sneak them in.
Sounds awesome. Any other questions from anybody? All right. In that case, before we move on to demos, it looked like somebody, maybe Mike, was adding a note about libp2p. Okay. And in that case, I think that's all we've got for the agenda right now. So then we've got a demo for the service worker gateway.
Hey guys, seems the call was really fast today. So I will share my screen first. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So in the previous weeks, I've been working on the service worker gateway. And basically what it does is I have an IPFS node running inside the service worker, and the IPFS node acts as a gateway, similar to the Go IPFS gateway and the GS IPFS gateway. For example, the Go IPFS gateway, for the of you that don't used to it, it is just, you can just grab a file with its hash and get it. So in my implementation, I have the same behavior but inside the service worker. So for this demo, I deployed it in the GS-IPFS.io, which is a project that is already being made right now. So it's like in its initial state where my implementation is. So it is deployed in the dev.js.ipfs.io. So basically, if I initiate the service worker, Okay. Now, if I try to grab a hash similarly to what is being done in the gateway, the regular gateway, it will work. For example, I will show you three examples with a simple file, a directory listing the random files, and a directory containing an index.html file. So first, a simple file like this. As you can see, the same as Go implementation, but using the service worker. Now a directory. Oh, wrong paste.
Can you show that there is a service worker on that application?
Yeah, sure. Can you see my DevTools?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so let me. Maybe I should close and open again. Okay, so the service worker for dev.js IPFS.io, which is activated and is running. Okay, then you can also get files from this directory as well. And if you try to get a directory from which contains an index.html, as you can see now in the URL, it starts with getting the hash, but it will understand that there is an index.html and it will grab it instead. Okay, so index.html file. So basically, I did something more than this, which is different from the usual gateways. I have also a stats page where we can get to know what are some stats of the IPFS node, as well as the hashes that have already been fetched. So for that, I can get to IPFS/stats. Okay, and as we can see, there are lots of informations from the node, such as it is running now since my demo started, so 4 minutes ago. We can also see what is being used in the repo, and in the bottom all the hashes that I fetched before.
And probably have it on /stats instead of /IPFS stats, because that way you're not having to conflict with the hash namespace.
Yeah, I can change it to the stats to the root. I think I also thought about it, and I agree that probably is the best way.
Cool stuff, though. It's awesome.
Okay, and that's it. I don't know if there is any other question.
I see that Lilo has a hand.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so like that's very, very exciting. And like I was thinking about use case for what we have right now, even with this limitation that we don't have like foreign fetch for service worker, which means that all service worker to work, it will work only for requests that are made from the same origin that it's installed for, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And, like my idea was that, is it something that we could like wrap into a nice drop-in library that, for example, developers could simply add to their website and get JS IPFS support for free? Because like the only requirement for a website to take advantage of this is to have assets on IPFS paths, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So is it like is it a separate repository, or is it in the JS IPFS IO repository?
No, it is in service worker gateway. It's a repository where you basically just need to require it, and you are ready to use it.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
really good. So yeah, I think if we provided a browserified bundle, that could be, you know, like the same way we provide ready for use in browser bundle for JS IPFS.
Yeah,
That
I
would be,
agree.
yeah, that would be like very beneficial. I think adding like a build step and just packaging it so that it can be like accessed from the popular CDNs, right?
Yeah,
That would be really, really useful, I think.
Yeah, for now I have an example also here in the repo where there is a build that creates the bundle, but yeah, I think it would be great to have it in the CDN as the IPFS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it could be an interesting piece for like people who have already public HTTP gateway, but that introduces some strain on the server that is hosting this gateway. And
exactly.
if on top of that gateway, the designer, like the developer of the website, could add a small script to the header that would take those paths and use JS IPFS, that would be really great. Very, very exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. No more questions?
I don't see any more hands. Like the questions I have are just like, I guess, informative questions. So one of the things that we are looking for is to have foreign fetch enabled in the browser. I know there is like some recent discussions on the W3C. By the way, Bas, would you mind muting? Because like we can hear the conversation.
Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Okay, I'll mute you. All right, cool. So what I was saying is with foreign fetch, and for people that are not familiar with service workers or what has been getting discussed, is foreign fetch is when you have like domain a.com during requests to b.com and enabling the service worker of b.com to capture that requests. So service worker is just really an HTTP proxy that you can like capture the requests, change the responses, cache responses, etc. And we are putting an IPFS node there. And therefore, instead of the request for an HTTP gateway, an HTTP IPFS gateway going to a server, which is what happens with IPFS.io, the service worker will capture that request, use JS IPFS, and fetch the content from the network and reply. So if you have like local connectivity to other nodes, you can like fetch from your local network, or you can just like simply keep caching the IPFS requests. With foreign fetch, we'll be able to do things, for example, with the IPFS extension, to capture multiple websites that are like fetching hashes, not necessarily just from IPFS.io, but like from other gateways. And like the extension will be able to then route to the service worker gateway and I get just a single node to respond to all of the requests instead of like running multiple nodes in your browser. So that's like very exciting. But again, the foreign fetch feature is still not there. The plan is like grabbing like Vasco's work and the JS.ipfs.io website and have JS.ipfs.io to be a gateway from like a JS IPFS daemon, and then have the option for the user to click a button and like switch the service worker gateway. And so that people can like switch back and forth and see how it feels, etc. I know that Vasco modernized this very much. So like answering also to Lyle's question, maybe Vasco, it's good to have a diagram of like what is JS IPFS.io, what is the service worker gateway, what is IPFS HTTP response, which is another module that you created, and also like what is this packaged IPFS node in a service worker. So it makes it very easy for others to do the same. And I guess that's it for me. I don't see any more questions or comments to what I've said. So yeah, thank you so much for the demo. Very exciting stuff. Yeah.
It looked like somebody had a last-minute question about planning for the developer meeting. Is there anybody here who knows more about that, since that's otherwise been Matt?
I guess like this is going to be a multiple people answer. I can start by saying that, so that there is like multiple people coordinating, organizing the meeting. There's people responsible for the logistics, getting everyone there, like reviewing the applications, etc. And then there is people that are responsible for the content curation. One of the things that we will ask soon to everyone that is going to participate, and especially to the working group captains, is to really like work with the other working group captains and like with the people organizing the events to make sure that we plan the sessions accordingly, that we have the best content, that we know which decisions we to make there, what needs to be discussed, essentially. There is three repos, the three public repos. One is github.com IPFS/conf, and that is kind of like an entry point. It points to the peer-to-peer and IPFS developer meetings, and also the IPFS conf, which will happen later this year. And then there is a dedicated repo for the IPFS meeting and the peer-to-peer meeting. And they have the same name, is developer-meetings. And one can be found on IPFS/developer meetings, and the other one with peer-to-peer developer meetings. You can go already and go to those repos and like open issue and ask questions. And like if you already have like ideas for sessions, just go and open issues. The template for proposals will come soon, and perhaps Mike has a little bit more like input there. I don't know if your connection is good. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I don't have too much specific to add beyond that. I mean, so the actual days are Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are the IPFS event, and then Thursday, Friday are the libp2p event. And for the libp2p, what we're thinking is the Thursday part will have pre-planned sessions, and then the Friday part will be more like an unconference day with people proposing things kind of on the fly. I'm happy to answer any other questions. Those are kind of the main things. That was sort of the announcement I was going to make on the libp2p call. So yeah, is that helpful? Yeah.
That was my question. It was very helpful. Thank you.
Any last minute items? Otherwise, I think we've covered everything in the agenda. Thanks everybody for being here, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks all.
Stopping.